talk to Mr. Brian Cage. Again, he is a PWG and Lucha Underground star who's traveled the globe, who's been in several different promotions. He's been in TNA. He's been in what was the Florida Champion, FCW. Yeah,
yeah, he was in FCW and WWE.
I wanted to say UFC for some reason. Like it's FCW.
He's been in developmental.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago. But this is a guy who's bounced around everywhere, man, and kind of found his niche with PWG and now in Lucha Underground because he's one of the featured guys on Lucha Underground.
The guy can freaking move for a guy his size. I mean, it's up there with like AJ Styles.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the way that he's able to move and jump off the ropes and whatnot.
All right, we got Brian Cage on the phone.
Brian, this is Jason.
You guys got me?
We got you, brother. How you doing today?
I was busy. I don't know what's going on.
We have a trivia thing that we do every week for a sponsor, and we were having to get the guy's information while you were trying to call in. But we've got it all clear for you now, and we're ready to go.
Okay, all righty then. All righty.
So we're going to do this little reverse and everything. I know usually at the end of the interviews, they want you to put your Facebook and everything like that. Can we go ahead and let people know how to see you and how to find out more about Brian Cage?
Sure, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Instagram at Brian Cage, Twitter on Mr. GMSI _ B Cage. Kind of a mouthful, kind of a dumb name, but that's what it is. So deal with it. And then the first 2 seasons of Lucha Underground are on Netflix. So if you haven't seen that show, not only check it out for myself, but everybody else on that roster and just. That show in general is redefining pro wrestling. I think the best thing on the television market for wrestling at the moment.
Absolutely, and of course, you can get the PWG DVDs, which have you all over them.
Oh, for sure. You can get that on from highspots.com, pwg.com, or you can actually stream the High Spots network and not only see them on PWG, but Pro Wrestling Revolve and independent. So.
One of the things that I listened to where I felt like I got more of a feel for who and what you're about is to listen to that Art of Wrestling episode that you did. That was one of the best episodes I've listened to.
Oh, with Cabana?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite interviews. It was a real good one.
Yeah,
that one was back in 2013, I think, as well.
Yeah, it's in the archives. They've got that. Anybody that wants to go on to Howl and get that to look it up, it's a real. I mean, you guys get into a lot of the struggles of a professional wrestler coming up and trying to get into this business and make a name for himself, and you've definitely done that. I met you in 2015 at the Mr. Olympia contest. And
yeah, that's the last one I went to, yeah.
Well, you're out there, not only are you putting yourself out there with the wrestling, getting your name out there, you're sponsored by 5% Nutrition. You're out there on bodybuilding stages. You're out there everywhere. I mean, I've never seen anybody be able to do that. And I, as an independent worker myself and a competitive bodybuilder, I don't travel like you do, and I have a hard time keeping up. I don't. How do you do that? How do you make all that go?
Man, every aspect. I literally was just on the road for 3 weeks, pretty much. I was in Orlando for a week, then went to Mexico for a couple of days, then back to Florida, South Florida for a couple of days. Houston, I made a 10-hour pit stop back at home. Then I had to go up north in North California for a few days. Came back for another 10-hour pit stop at home, and then back out to New York, Connecticut, and Denver, and just got home late last night. So yeah, it's a struggle, man. It's not normally that bad, but look like I got those 2 pit stops home. But I prep all my stuff. I freeze it all. And put it in my check luggage so it stays, better than when I get to land. I try to get another freezer and defrost what I'm going to eat. That way, it can stay fresh through all the travel and all the times. Depending on where I'm at, if I can get someone to prep me food or ship it to me where I'm going to be, if I have a friend that lives in the area and I can use the kitchen. It's really about just strategizing where I'm going to be, when I'm going to be there, how long I'm going to be there. Same thing. I make sure I always get in the gym, before show, after show, whatever the case may be. It's a bit. It gives me a bit of anxiety to map it out so, meticulously. But it's kind of knowing my lifestyle and I want to do it. It's so much fun, but at the same time, I feel like it's almost like a requirement now because I feel like that goes hand in hand with who I've kind of become in wrestling. So I feel like if I don't like live up to that mantra and then like show up, looking like I do and whatnot, it's almost like a letdown. So I almost feel like I have to keep doing this. And I mean, I love the lifestyle. Even though I'm not actively competing in bodybuilding at the moment. Like I said, I still prep my meals all the time. I still try to stay relative, like, looking like I'm, getting ready for a show. Like almost everybody that sees me, if they don't know who I am, always ask me, oh, what show are you getting ready for? Oh, you're going to do Contra Costa next week? Oh, you're going to do this or whatever. So, I mean, that's always a compliment and means I'm doing something right. People think I'm, prepping for a show when I'm not.
I'm right there with you on that. People don't understand the kind of preparation it takes for meal prep. These guys see me sitting here eating in the middle of radio shows. Then I show up to watch some different wrestling with them, and they see me pulling that stuff out of my ISO bag, to start it's time to eat again. And that's a whole different world that people don't understand when you're traveling and trying to do stuff, or even when you're just at home trying to do stuff.
For sure. Like, yeah, people understand the struggle of that. Like, and even then, I'm traveling a lot more now and a lot more international. But, I mean, every show I've done, I've still wrestled like every weekend. I've pretty much wrestled every weekend up until the show, and every show, I've done 5 shows. And every show, that Sunday, the following Sunday, I've got up, I've done legs, and I've traveled and wrestled that night. So, I mean, it's never been a stop for me. I've always just been go, 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 go. So, like, to think of prepping for a show isn't easy, but to think of being able to prep for a show, like, at home and not having to travel at all, that sounds like it would be a walk in the park in comparison. I was like, oh my gosh, how easy and less chaotic would it be to like not have to live out a suitcase and go all over the place and prep for a show if I could just stay at home and have my stuff here and just get to the gym, at such and such time and bang it out. I would love to have a pro card. I have no desire in being a pro, like as an active pro competitor. You can just be nice in the cap to win a pro card, but and maybe I will. It's always there. It's always available. So,
but having that pro card, there's something to bodybuilders that just having that pro card makes a change in everything that you do. It's almost like all the prep, all the work, everything like that, and is worth it at that point when you have that card, whether you ever use it or not. That's something on your resume from that point on to they put you in the ground.
Sure, that's exactly what I want. I just want that feather in my cap, like I said. Like I could compete, but I'm like, I don't really like. It's definitely a passion and but more of a hobby for me. Like my lifelong dream is to be a wrestler, and that's what my full time job and living is. And bodybuilding's actually it's paved the way for me. It's helped break me in. Like you said, I'm sponsored by 5% Nutrition. I mean, I have Lana's egg whites, I have Atomics, shoes, barbell apparel. I mean, it's definitely helped me out with quite a few different sponsorships and kickbacks from people. And it's allowed me to prep many people to get on the stage. So, I mean, it's definitely had its benefits to dabble in bodybuilding, plus, appeal to wrestling with my look and my physique. But it's not something that I would trade, wrestling for. People always ask me, like, oh, would you rather be bodybuilder or wrestler? I'm like, oh, well, wrestler, because I am. I've been one for forever, so.
But you almost have to get into the bodybuilding to do the wrestling. So it goes hand in hand.
Everybody thinks that, because I mean, generally speaking, we have like the big, as we call them, body guys. You can't see my quotation fingers, but I'm doing that.
I was picturing them as you did it.
Wrestling, they're generally not very talented. Like, because it's usually not more often, not always. They're usually bodybuilders trying to be a wrestler that usually don't know anything about wrestling, just like how WWE, and they still do it here and there. But I mean, for a while, they're in their developmental system. All they hired was non-wrestling like athletes, from everywhere else but wrestling. And go figure, those became stars, and then they hire real independent stars and independent wrestling women, and they're huge. Well, go figure. Anyways, so I love bodybuilding, I love wrestling, but people try to say that, a bodybuilder trying to be a wrestler. Like, no, I'm not a bodybuilder trying to be a wrestler. I'm just a wrestler that happens to bodybuild.
Right, and we are on radio here, sir. So we've got a lot of to go into the body guys. People go and look at you online. People go and look at you, watch you on YouTube. They're going to see what you look like, and you have that body guy look. But when they watch you work, you do not work like any of these body guys. That seemed to me is what has always set you apart, and I feel like that's what's gotten you to the places that you've been able to get to.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, you walk through the curtain and it already kind of, you kind of stand out and separate yourself from the rest of the locker room with how I look. But then again, like I said, you get that cliche, like, this guy's going to suck. And then exactly when I get in the ring, that's really what has said, made me stand out and set me apart from everyone else is my work rate along with the way I look. And that's also because I started out, training at 155 pounds when I graduated high school. So both training for wrestling and training in the gym. So it wasn't like I just was some, jacked monster naturally. And, just like woke up one day, like, I'm, 260 pounds. So as I perfected my craft, and because I loved wrestling my entire life and I already knew it, I developed my body as I developed my skill. So it helped maintain my mobility and my agility and my movement. And even then, to me, I can tell, if I watch some older stuff as well, my footwork and certain movements and stuff obviously aren't as fluid or as smooth just because, the more mass you put on, you're going to have to take a hit no matter how athletically gifted or, blessed you are. It's going to take a hit. But, in some regards, some of my agility stuff actually improved. But yeah, I know that's pretty much the number one thing people say about me is, they see me and see the way I work and like, oh my God, you're a freak of nature in that regard because no one moves and does the stuff you do and can work, your rate at the size and body composition that you have. It's just not a normality that you usually see in the wrestling world. So again, going back to me talking about prepping and working out earlier, I feel like that is what's, has made me stand out to people's eyes. And so it is expected for me to, come out looking and having that physique and that just that overall look, but then being able to deliver and, provide an amazing, 4 or 5 star match.
Right on, man. Hey, Brian, this is Chad Burdine. Thank you so much for joining us today. I got a quick question. It's actually a 2-part question. I know that you were trained by NXT coach Norman Smiley and Tom Pritchard and the late great Chris Kanyon, just to name a few. But I got to ask because I'm such a big comic book nerd fan, and I know you've worked several promotions all around the world. But your time in SCW back in the mid 2000s, you were billed as Brian Cage, but then you changed your name. I think was it to Chris Logan? Respectfully paying homage to your trainer, Chris Kanyon, but the last name, Logan, being with your yellow tights and the claw marks, and obviously your finishing move being labeled as Weapon X.
And those wicked sideburns.
Yeah, the sideburns. I got to ask, man, how much did the Wolverine character actually influence your life and maybe even your personal life? And secondly, have you even seen the movie Logan yet?
Oh, okay. That's a huge part question.
Yeah.
So, I've been a huge superhero and Marvel comic book fan. The whole 9 yards. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be a superhero or a pro wrestler. And obviously, the pro wrestling the superhero business wasn't as lucrative as it seemed to be as a child. So I went the pro wrestling route. That being said, though, I was always a huge Wolverine mark. I remember I wanted, to take all these karate lessons. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. I had some. Even as as an older teenager and young adult, I had some sweet framed Wolverine pictures of inspiring messages and whatnot, to motivate me through the day. So I love Wolverine, and so I did that as well, like you said, to pay homage to Kanyon, to one of my best friends and one I really owe a lot to. And I think he's one of the best in the ring and probably the number one most underrated and underutilized talent that there's been around. So I did the Chris and obviously Logan for the Wolverine and for the look, and I've had these sideburns and some of the hairstyle for, over a decade. So it just felt natural and it was easy go to, because people would always call me Wolverine or Logan, just and joking, and I thought it was rad because I'm a huge Wolverine fan. So
of course,
I just went that route because it was easy, and then Dusty actually wanted me to have more of a legit character rather than just a name. So we changed it to Nightclaw, down the road before I got released, which I really made this outfit and based it off of the amalgam series between Batman and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And instead of Darkclaw, I called myself Nightclaw, and that's how it went. And actually, that was going great. We did all these cool promos and vignettes and everything, and this photo shoot, and then Hurricane came back, and it kind of stole my thunder. So,
no. Green Lantern over the Wolverine. That's terrible.
Yeah, and he already had, years days. And then they kind of switched things around and thought maybe I'd be a heel and go feud with them. But then actually due to an injury, to cut the long story short on it, is actually more of the kind of the the BS reason why I got released as opposed to character development. But I mean, it is what it is, and I'm happy where I'm at today. So
Sure.
people always ask me like if I'm mad or angry if I'm when we back to WWE, and realistically, if I never go back, I'm totally happy with that. My goal was to get signed by the time I was 24. I did that, and now I'm happier, more content, more financially well off, control my own schedule. Like, I mean, I love what I do, so I'm in no rush. Would I ever go back? Sure, I could possibly, but if I don't, I'm totally fine with that.
And that's an awesome attitude to have because you really don't hear that out of a lot of people. And
Exactly.
Go ahead.
It feels good too to be on the offense in that regard, because most people feel like they need or have to. So you really put on the defense. You really have no control over it, But for myself, I feel my life is complete and content whether I go there or if I don't.
Absolutely, and we've got to run and get our commercials in. Since we're on the radio, but I do want to say if anyone out there wants to really see some of the Wolverine, Brian Cage stuff, go to his store on ProWrestlingTees.com. It's one of the best selections of T-shirts that you're going to find for anybody out there, and put some money in this guy's pocket. And last on our way out, I just want to tell you, I worked a show Saturday with Michael Elgin. I want to see you two back together and do it in New Japan. That would be just drive me. I'd love it.
I would love to do that too. I know he's been pushing for it. I know we just tagged recently at WrestleCon. I would love to work in New Japan. I would love to work with him. Going back real quick, Logan was amazing. I loved it, and my shirts do get put over so much for the Army of Darkness ones, the Wolverine ones, the Wolverine ones are.
Army of Darkness one is great. I love it.
But the last little plug: anybody who wants to see great programming and see me sooner in the new event, Wrestle Circus is like the biggest, best thing going on in the indie scenes. April 30th is their next show. You can order it on iPay-per-view, April 30th, WrestleCircus.com. Phenomenal show, phenomenal talent, phenomenal lineup.
Man, I've heard and seen nothing but good things out of Wrestle Circus. But we're on the way out. Brian Cage, thank you so much. We'd love to have you on again. I feel like there's 100 other things I could have touched base with you and talked about.
Yeah, no, that went real fast. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely try to get with you and get on here again sometime soon. That way we can go into some more stuff, if that's good with you.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian.
No problem, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
All right.